What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I will be talking about some of the comments that were posted yesterday in my latest uploaded ROX video. I will also show you a way on how to reach 120 FPS in an emulator while playing ROX. So make sure to stick around until the end of the video. Before I start, I just want to say that I really appreciate the comments that you leave on the videos that I post. There are times that I may not be able to reply or see those comments immediately because I also have a lot of things going on in real life. But since I have some free time earlier from work, I decided to read some of the comments in my last video. The first comment that caught my attention is from I Am Your Father 3643. Asking where to get the Guardian emblem and if it is possible to get the costumes in the event. The short answer to that is yes, it is possible to get the costumes in this event. There are two ways to do that. The first one and the easiest one is to buy the Guardian emblems in the exchange center using your crystals. The second one, which is a lot harder for me personally, this is you have to always join the Neon Invasion or the Neon Boss Hunt in the game. The main reason why this is harder for me is the time that you have to wait in between respawn times. I don't have the luxury of time to stay online in the game, especially on weekdays. Majority of my day is at work, while I still have a family to attend to after that. At the same time, I still do play other games with my friends IRL. Again, this is just for me personally. I'm pretty sure that other players prefer this method than buying the event items in the EC. And I can totally understand that. To each their own. The third option is the Neon Siege. However, upon checking this activity earlier, this has already been completed and the activity is no longer accessible in the game. So that's how you can get the Guardian emblems in this event. The next question is from ROX88, and this is regarding the equips, cards, and skill build for an LK and Shura. As mentioned in my previous videos, I will be posting a video about this after my transition from an HKN to an LK and Shura. However, you do have to take note that this will take a couple of months since I am only an F2P. The next one is from Play4Fun225. The question is, if we reach 1,500 event coins, will we receive all 3K boxes or just the highest box? Once you reach 1,500 event coins, you will get all the 3 boxes as rewards. Do note that if you want to get an additional 500 event coins, apart from the 1K coins that you can get as an F2P, you need to complete some of these missions or quests. And finally, for the last question that really stood out to me is from ArtSanity regarding the PC client of ROX Japan. So first and foremost, the main reason why I don't really talk about ROX outside of Southeast Asia and Taiwan is because the ROX for Japan and China is a different version of what we have. Like for instance, in ROX Japan, there are purple weapon, accessories, and talismans available to the players in the game, while in Southeast Asia and Taiwan, we only have a white, blue, and gold weapon, accessory, and talisman. There are also other features and content from Japan that is not available in the Southeast Asian region. But I am not going to go over them because that will take a lot of time in this single video. The second reason why I don't really talk about this topic is that we can only speculate on our end. Why they have this and why we don't have that, those types of things. It's really sad though for Seiya and Taiwan that the PC client that we have is just a reskinned version of the LD player. And if I'm not mistaken, the PC client for Japan is an actual native app that is created for PC players. If you haven't seen my review of the ROX PC client for Southeast Asia a year ago, I'll link that video in the description below. Now, in my personal opinion, the reason why we have two different versions of ROX is because these two have different developers. How can I say that? Especially when they are using the same IP. This is not really new, especially in the gaming industry. I think the best example that I can give you is Ubisoft, the publisher of the Assassin's Creed IP. They publish different Assassin's Creed versions which are managed and developed by different studios. For example, AC Origins was developed by Ubisoft Montreal, while AC Mirage was developed by Ubisoft Bordeaux. Both games are using the Assassin's Creed core gameplay, while each studio adds their own unique features and content for each game. Just because they have the same IP, doesn't necessarily mean that they also have the same devs. And that is the same for ROX Japan. They are using the core gameplay of ROX, but they have added additional equipment and content to their own version of the game. If the developers or the people who manages Southeast Asia and Taiwan regions are the same people handling Japan, why would they even create a new PC client that is not shared across all regions? That doesn't make any sense. In addition to that, I don't think it is a wise move to allow a single group of devs to manage two different versions of the game. That would be an insane workload if you are a developer. I also think that the reason why they developed a native PC client for Japan is because majority of the gamers in that country prefer to play on PC rather than mobile. I mean, if I'm being honest, the metagaming platform in Southeast Asia is mobile. That is why almost every major tournament in mobile games are won by Southeast Asian countries. However, if you go to, let's say, North America or Europe, gamers prefer to play on PC or consoles rather than their mobile phones. But if you really want to play ROX in 120 FPS, you can do that using this emulator. Just a side note, I am not sponsored by this emulator, but if they want to, I'm very much open to the possibility. The emulator that I'm using right now in playing mobile games on PC is BlueStacks. The main reason why I like this emulator is because you can crank up the FPS as long as your PC has the specs to do so. For example, if we go to the settings of BlueStacks, at the lower section of the Performance tab, you can see the frame rate bar, where you can increase or decrease your FPS in a game. So right now, the max FPS that I can do is at 60. However, if you turn on the Enable High Frame Rate option, I can now crank up the FPS up to 240. But since we are talking about the 120 FPS for ROX, I will put my FPS to 120 and show you the performance in the game. Also, I will turn on my FPS counter in order to show you my FPS in-game. So here is how it looks like at 120 FPS. You can also try this and experiment your own graphic settings if you want to. Do note that this will vary depending on your computer specs or hardware. Just to be clear, my PC is running on first-person shooter specs, from my processor, memory to my GPU, meaning all of these are high-spec hardware, so again, you may have a different experience depending on the unit that you are using. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you want to see more ROX content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. GG!
You're a superhero.